Okay, so to finish up my thoughts on the Occidental leather SuspendaVest system that I've been wearing for give or take 2 months now, I feel like I'm at a point where I can give you a pretty accurate and reliable review on what's really good about it and the things that I don't really like about it. Let's start with, here, why don't I set this down? Right off the bat, one of the things that you'll realize when you switch to a shoulder mounted tool system is that it actually takes a little bit of time to get used to having the weight of all your stuff on the shoulders. Like my straps were embarrassingly sore for the first week or so, but after that you get used to it. The name of the game when you're going with a shoulder mounted system is to keep things as light as possible. I had attached an extra pouch on this side here and found that the more I loaded it, the less comfortable it got. I mean, that's pretty obvious, but when things on your shoulders and not on your hips, you feel that a lot more than you think you would. Focus on keeping it light, keep it minimal, and then don't try to stack it full of too much stuff. Otherwise, you're just gonna feel like you're being weighed, you're literally being weighed down every time you wear it. Another thing that you can see if I put this back here, what tends to happen is it conforms really well here, and it hugs your back nicely, but what happens is it doesn't, because there's no straps below, it doesn't actually wrap around your torso quite as nicely as you'd want it to. And the problem is the more full it gets, the less it does that, the less nicely it sort of hugs you. So again, keeping it less full is going to benefit you in terms of having a nice snug system. I've sort of pared it down to the bare essentials at this point. I might pare it down even more than this, but right now I'm at a happy medium. And I'm going to show you a couple of things that I've done, a few modifications I've made to make this thing more functional. So one of those is, what I did is basically there's a little spot here. I don't even know if it's intentional, but there is a slight gap in this patch here. And what I've done is I've slid a rare earth magnet in there. So if I ever have extra screws, what I can do is I can just chuck them there and they'll stay. So I have a hands-free system to hold on to my nails. That's not my own invention, but this doesn't come with that, so that's my own sort of tweak on this. The other thing I did is I opened up the one on this side on the bottom so that I can actually put my safety glasses and keep them in there. And I found that's a really sort of handy place to always have them on you, because what happens is you go to the side and leave them there and you forget. It's key to have that stuff stuck on you at all times, so that's a good spot for that. I jokingly say I started out no strapping, so I tried just super casual like this, but I found that, again, it's a little bit too loose if you don't strap it up. So I would recommend, if you're going to do this, plan on having that zipped up and snapped in. The other thing that I found, so there's two back pockets here, but the problem is, and I guess a consistent sort of knock on the system, is that having things up high is a lot harder to get at than when they're down on where your pockets are. So I find that these back pockets are more or less useless because it's really difficult to get at those. But what I've noticed is if you don't add pouches to the quick attach system here, it actually makes a really good holder for larger items. So I've got my speed square that I keep in there now. And again, you start to realize which pockets are the most accessible. I'm ambidextrous, but I do tend to, my fine motor skills are left, so I keep all my quick, finicky, my fine motor skills items, I keep that on my left, and my lesser used items, keep them on the right. So, final thoughts would be, it is a very, very unique system. I like it. Maybe not quite as much as I thought I was going to, but it's a great way to switch from having a typical tool belt where your tools are all on your waist. I don't find that I'm having to pull my pants up as much as I used to, which was the main reason for switching. So it does achieve that. It's not perfect, but it's not, no system is, I don't think. So for what I do, for the last couple months I've been using this, and it's been great. And honestly, if I didn't like it, I wouldn't be wearing it. So the fact that I'm continuing to use it is a good sign. I would say proceed with caution. If you don't want to spend the $250 or whatever it is on this system, maybe try starting with something a little less expensive where you can keep your tools on your shoulders and see if you like that kind of thing, because it is pretty different. Other than that, I would say this gets my stamp of approval. I'm going to keep wearing it, and hopefully it gets better and better as I start to get used to the different pockets and where things go, and it's only going to be better from here. So if you're interested, check it out. I highly recommend it, and maybe we'll come back with some more tips and some more reviews on things like this. Thanks for watching.